Okay, we're going live.
Going live.
And I'm starting the video. You know, I think you need to add more pictures of Princess Leia in there. There's absolutely no pictures of Princess Leia in here. Princess Leia is a major part of this, more than Colonel Mustard.
You're just saying that.
No! I was looking at it, I'm like, you know what? There is no photos of Princess Leia in here. I'm like, what the heck?
Really? I do this cool thing, and then you got to pick it apart.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, I'm just noticing something that Princess Leia is tremendously not included. Yeah.
Criticize. Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. We are live tonight, and one of us is on location, and the other's stuck doing media.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Maya's on time. What?
I'm bringing up comments on my remote feed.
Yeah, all Maya's those little hearts. Maya's on time. Good job.
Maya, you have passed the test.
So if you guys get a chance, if you could like and share, actually just share, because this is the opportunity for you to tell all your friends about how you love the show and tell them to jump on and watch it with us because it's a lot of fun.
Fun. Quit yawning. Don't do that. That's contagious because I'm really tired too. I've been up since like 5.
I'm going to go to Dancing Bear right now, and I'm going to go to Elk Rack and make sure that it's actually live. Okay, I do see a live notification.
I have no way of checking right now.
James, you slacker.
I'm a slacker. Look at my post. Look at my comment. I don't like getting the look.
What? She said, I don't like getting the look.
Maya,
where we shamelessly make Maya feel bad for she's the only person we do that to.
Folks, if you're wondering what we're talking about, ready, Savannah?
Oh, well, I'm not going to.
If you're wondering what the look is,
no, we're not doing the look because I have to share my stuff. No, not the look today, but you can talk about the look.
Well, the look, we'll show the look after the start.
Okay.
We'll revisit this if I remember to. The look, folks, is, well, you'll know it because when we do it during the show, we talk about this, you'll go, I got to go to the bathroom after the look because it will square the poo out of you. Maya says, now it's a funny joke. I love y'all. Maya, were you actually really threatened by this? Because if you were, mission accomplished. Sitting here looking at little campfires and stuff in a campsite. Wow, they got a big old fire. I'm looking at these weird fire gloves. People probably figure out what I'm already doing already now. Okay, tonight, folks, we are doing fun summer activities you can do with your family. You can do by yourself. You can do with your friends. We're going to be talking about summer camps and fun activities and stuff you can do that's organized and DIY. The fun stuff that Savannah never does.
Okay. Whatevs. Oh my gosh.
Because you can go do the fun stuff like I do and have a venture, or you can go over and collect barbed wire with Savannah.
Wow. That's
jab back, girl.
That's terrible. Look at you see, he just went for the jugular, and I didn't even say anything negative. He's just ready to just like cut my throat open. Jeez.
Really?
Yeah. Did I say anything?
I'm remembering some conversations before the countdown happened.
Okay.
I'm talking about you collecting barbed wire. Come on, just unless you're using the barbed wire, you're gonna grab the barbed wire. Oh, there's a UFO.
There is a UFO, and it's trying to pick you up, James, but it's not succeeding. It's trying to take you away.
My head's too big.
It's like,
come on, I left it. It's open up in there. I left you with something wide open there, Savannah. Take your shot. Do it.
You know what though? It's like I feel like
being classy.
Like it's so late. And I'm like,
You know, every time you get in a discussion with somebody, you always think of the perfect comeback, like the next day.
yeah, that's true.
That's why we need a personal cyberspace for stuff like
Yeah.
that. I just killed a
Yeah.
mosquito. I just killed a mosquito that landed on my windshield, the visor of my truck.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't like mosquitoes. They're not fun.
Nope. And I'm eating trail mix.
Yeah.
Trail mix.
Okay,
Trader
I
Joe's.
wonder what this means. Okay, don't get mad if it looks weird. Someone comment. Oh, see, it has a little thing in the corner.
Yeah, what is that?
It says show comments on stage as it goes. Interesting.
I know StreamYard just did an update. I'm gonna look through all of them when I was uploading the promo and stuff for the show tonight. When I was finishing the opening credits and countdown this morning or this afternoon, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, huh, interesting. Yeah, Maya says she thinks
The live updates, a lot of comments. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
See if we get a spam. And there goes a Velociraptor.
Yeah. It's almost like whatever the space is that it's rotating around the top of the earth, like looking up at the earth. It's kind of weird. And then there's enough space for they're either flying through space or they're walking on the ground. So that confuses me because I'm thinking about like just the window and the orientation.
Well, it's supposed to be Dreamland. It's supposed to be where all that stuff makes sense. Is perfectly logical. Velociraptor walking through your window. If people watch our show, they wake up. When people watch our show on Friday nights late, and then they wake up the next morning going, "What a wonderful dream! It was real."
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching our show, I see we have like a bunch of people watching. Please comment and tell us who's watching and where you're watching from, because although we love getting all these comments from Maya, she's awesome. I'd love to hear what all these other people have to say, because there's a bunch of people. There really is. There's a bunch of people, and no one, it's just funny. It's like they're lurking. It's like they're like,
we're talking about you, Michael and Milo and Matthew and Michelle and Michelangelo and Michelob
and Leonardo
and
Donatello
Miller and Mo
and Raphael.
I'm just sticking with the M names. Molly.
So yeah. But this it's going to be interesting. We're going to do an open discussion, which we try to do every week because it's fun.
Totally. Okay, we have 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go, folks, till showtime. And you can see us, one who has around meeting, the other in the fantabulous remote location we're in.
Yeah, I know,
quote
right?
Unquote.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting. This is a show we do every week, guys. So, if you like it, you can watch it every week. And we have like several years of videos to watch. So if you really want to watch it.
5 years.
The evolution.
5 years and 2 months worth of videos.
Our show. You can binge watch it.
Imagine the talk if they tried to binge our show, some of the stuff we've done.
No, we've done some interesting things. And our show definitely has evolved a bit.
There's stuff I don't remember doing. I came across Mr. B. Various for the beekeeper we had on the show. I barely remember making that video. I was like, what's this today? When I was digging out some stuff, and I was like, here I'm talking to a German accent and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's new. I barely remember doing that.
Yeah, it's just been so long. I mean, there's so many things we've done.
Yeah, because we might think, hey, we've never done this show before, and we look back at our archive, we'll go, oh, we've done it like twice.
Yeah, no, we didn't do an anniversary show, and Maya. It's just a lot of work, and when our anniversary happened, it was right after ASU and right before Stanford, so it's really in a hard time for us. Like for me specifically, I'm just getting over Stanford powwow. Like we're just normalizing, catching up with everything. It was a lot. And we do want to do a game show again, but again, doing a game show is a lot of work. It takes a lot of planning, and when we were doing all the game shows and all the scripts and everything we did for our show, it was easy back then because back then we weren't allowed to go anywhere. So we really had a lot of time on our hands. And now it's just, we just don't have that much time on our hands. Hey, James, guess what?
Some weeks more than others.
10,
9,
7,
6,
5,
4,
2, 1.
Showtime.
Showtime.
It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Abea Kamori Yang and James Hermes. On this week's show, fun summer activities. At camp, when do you go at red and stop at green? When you're eating a watermelon, it's time to start the show.
And it needs to go this way. And I need to
There we are. And we need a banner. There we go. We are. That makes us official. Now the show started.
Yes, I know.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk.
Welcome, everybody. So, if you have never joined our show before, we do the show every Friday night, starting at 9:50, officially starting at 10 p.m., and it goes to 11. We go for an hour, and we've been doing this show since 2020, so it's been a while. We do this show to kind of keep you updated on our respective businesses, and of course, we try to think of some entertaining things to do, like we talk about interesting topics, or we could bring on guests, or we do different things all the time. So there's all kinds of stuff we do. So if you like the show, please like our Facebook pages, our Instagrams, our YouTube channels, our Twitch channels. We have a lot for you to like. So, and additionally, we usually are live. So if there isn't a live show, it's probably because one of us has to be doing something like we're at a powwow, or we're at something where it's just not possible. So generally we do pre-recorded, or we do reruns on those times because we have so many.
It's not called a rerun. It's called a replay.
Replay.
Reruns are boring. Replays are awesome.
We have so many episodes because every year there's 52, and then 52 times 5, that's a lot of episodes we can pull from for, replays. But we have some really good ones. So definitely, if you wanted to binge, there's lots of stuff to see. So anyway, hey, James, what's going on with Elk Rack Traders?
Okay, well, I'm probably going to go over when we get done with our updates to kind of tell why I'm sitting in the cab of my truck right now.
Yeah.
But Elk Rack Traders, remember, folks, we will be at Mission San Luis Rey Powwow 1 week from tomorrow. Father's Day weekend, next weekend. I don't have the dates in front of me exactly, the days of June, but it's a Saturday, Sunday powwow. We'll be there. And we've been doing this powwow for over 20 years, not counting the pandemic. And
it's going to be June 14th and 15th.
Thank you. So June 14th, 15th, you'll see us there. And should be fun. We love this powwow, and you always find us like the front row of vendors because we've been doing it that long. And look for us there next weekend. Otherwise, we're getting ready for that powwow. And that's the updates for Elk Rack Traders. So, Sabea, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's going on with Dancing Bear? And share with the audience. Share with the audience, please, too.
Okay. All right. So,
all right. Yeah.
We have, I think, pretty much caught up from our crazy recovery from Stanford.
Yeah.
Powwow. We've gotten in so many restock orders. We've been We've been processing inventory like crazy. So our store is starting to fill up again because we got really emptied out. We also are plowing through grad stole orders every day. We've been getting more and more orders for grad stoles. So if you need your graduation stole for your graduate for this month, place your order ASAP because we are trying our best to get everything done. We do sew everything in our store. So it is literally a madhouse of, keeping up with the grad school orders. We have had a ton of CDCR orders, which that's California Departments of Correction and Rehabilitation orders. We're the only bead vendor that's authorized for selling to CDCR at this moment. So we've been sending out a lot of CDCR orders, which is really cool. And then also we are planning on doing another run of tie-dye shirts. It's probably going to be in the next week or so that we're going to be preview or showing those or premiering those. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Also, we are going to, for those of you who don't know, we have a connection with a pizza place in Oceanside called Brooklyn Boys Pizza. And we are going to be delivering free of charge pizzas to the powwow for anyone who places an order. So next week, we'll be giving you guys more information. Dancing Bear is going to be giving out special Dancing Bear bucks. I'll give you guys more information as we get closer to it, like I said. But for everyone that orders a pizza, there's going to be some incentives. So that's kind of a cool thing we're working on.
Hey, while you're talking about that, I should bring up the Tony character with when you talk about Brooklyn Boys Pizza like that.
Really? What's going on with Tony?
Let me channelize Tony here while you talk about that. Okay. Let me see if I can do this, because I usually got to get into characters. This whole thing you do before you get into character. Okay, Tony, you're talking about Brooklyn Boys Pizza. You're bringing it to the powwow, correct?
Yeah. So we're doing free
Brooklyn.
delivery.
Free delivery all the way to California from Brooklyn. Yeah. That, folks, is dedication.
Yeah.
Dedication from Brooklyn all the way to San Diego. There's the southeast of the west of the country, all the way to the powwow. Yes. That, folks, is major. That tells you the inflation, the established value, the gold standard of Dancing Bear bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you have? If you've got 5 pigs, okay. 5 female pigs, and 5 male deer, you know what you got? 5,000 Dancing Bear bucks.
Okay.
It's a good joke, but I should have walked in about the deer and the deer and Dancing Bear.
Yes, you probably
So you know what you have if you have the south end of a northbound bear? A bear buck.
Okay.
Yes. Am I channeling Tony okay?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Of course it's interesting. I'm making up on the spot instead of a script where I can write a script and make things make sense. But folks, Dancing Bear bucks from a dancing bear and pigs. And I'm trying to think of a fun punchline to this joke, and it ain't working with the damn. Pizza from Brooklyn Boys. Straight from Brooklyn in Oceanside, California, 10 minutes away.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to give up because that's going nowhere.
Yeah. So guys, definitely that's something that is going to be really awesome. I have my assistants, Alethea, Aurelia, and Ben Jr. They're going to be my pizza runners, so they can bring the orders to you. So anyway, like I said, we'll give you more information next week before the powwow. And so I'm trying to think of this. Oh, also, we have a class next week. Kathy, one of our employees, she's going to be teaching her bead netted ornament on Thursday from 10 to 1. The class is $50. It's plus supplies. You do get a ornament to bead, but that class is coming up, so that's kind of cool. I'm excited about that for her. And like I said, we're just getting a bunch of stuff. We're getting in sewing notions. We're getting in sewing machine needles, Velcro, elastic, scissors, rotary cutters, rotary blades, seam rippers, fabric glue sticks. We're just building that up because it's a lot. So anyway.
Gotcha.
That's what's going on. And on a personal note, I'm my hair done.
we were talking about that earlier. Look at how purple that hair is.
What is going on with this light here?
I don't
This is
know, but all of a
weird.
sudden you talk about your purple hair and you showed it, and all of a sudden you're like glowing.
So let me show you.
Okay, now the white balance has been turned down.
I'm gonna use my phone to like show how purple my hair is. You see how purple it is? Very purple.
Do you have like a purple sheet or purple, like say construction paper or some kind of background? I want to see how camouflaged you are with your new highlights of purple.
My hair will blend in. Yeah.
That's the idea. So we just see your face just going in this purple background with this floating Sevilla face.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway.
Events of the week. You got your hair.
Yep.
And new makeup.
Yes. So lots of fun. So we were going to be talking. Oh my gosh. There's only 10 minutes.
I know, but I haven't done events of the week. I got a great segue.
Yeah. Okay. What's your segue?
Okay. So yeah, we're doing fun summer activities. And I got a segue because I can actually bring it up why I'm sitting in the cab of my truck right now. So, and this is something. The first Saturday of June, I usually work with and organize a very large service project for what's called National Trails Day for the American Hiking Society that encourages people to go out and explore their local hiking trail, urban trail, whatever. Just get out indoors and enjoy the day. Encourage public to do that. And for the last 12, 13 years, I've always organized this big shoreline cleanup at Lake Paris State Recreation Area over by Paris and Reno Valley. That's where I'm at now. I'm in the campgrounds. I came a day early because we have, as of this evening, we got 20 signups today. We have over 60 people coming for this shoreline cleanup tomorrow. And so awesome. I get here early so I don't have to leave my house like 4:30 in the morning to be over because we're starting at 7 o'clock in the morning with all these people. And one of the things we do, y'all know I own a few kayaks, right?
Yeah, just a few.
Let's do a little walkthrough right quick. I'm in the cab of my truck because I brought them up early. And folks, I'll say I own like 20 kayaks. I have a kayak problem. Okay, let's do a little quick tour. This is a great way to.
So James is a little patchy.
There's a kayak.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, because of the signal. We're going to do our best. So there's a kayak. And tell me if you can see it. There's a kayak, 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 there's more kayaks.
Wow.
My trailer is full of kayaks. That is, I've got 2 kayaks in the rack of my truck and 8 on my trailer.
Maya says you are a
there's my kayak trailer.
Hoarder. You're a kayak hoarder. James, you have to.
Sometimes I wonder.
I think that you need to make a realization that I think you have too many kayaks sometimes.
I have more kayaks than I can haul. I only have an 8-haul trailer. This is not the entire fleet. And I still own 6 or 7 canoes.
Wow.
So yeah, I have a trailer with 8 kayaks on it, 2 of my truck. So I have 10 kayaks I towed up here. I could have done more, but some of them need some repairs. Let me get set up here. So what we're doing is we're putting 10 people in the water. Because I also have my pack rack, which has been on the show. Let me get this back on the phone out in the cab of my truck, because quiet hours here at the campground starts at 10 a.m. Or it starts at 10 p.m. and just show, the quiet hour at the campground starts at 10 p.m. and we start the show at 10 p.m. So I got to sit in the cab of my truck to do this. So we're putting 10 people in the water, and there's an island. This lake is huge. It's got 10 miles of shoreline. And there's an island called Alessandro Island. And we actually take the kayaks, 10 people in the kayaks, and we go out to Alessandro Island and pick up trash around there. Other volunteer groups do not have the ability to put that many people in the water to go do it. And we take the kayaks to what's called riparian areas, where there's a lot of brush and stuff like that you can't really walk to, and we can get in with the kayaks and pick up trash there. And the rangers love us for this. And I'm the one that organized it, year 10, 12 or 13. And that's why I'm here right now. I don't think I've ever had that many kayaks on the show. That's a lot, but that just tells folks, I own a lot of kayaks. And to put the people in the water, provide that kind of service is amazing. I'm all about volunteerism. But that's a great segue, because kayaking is a fun individual or family activity, or you can actually go out and learn how to see kayaking at, like, say, a themed adult camp or something like that. And it's a fun activity you can do. And this is one of the ways people like to come out to this project every year, because they said, you're like the start of summer. We go out there, we get to go out and find the kayaks and provide a service and do good stuff and do a feel good thing. And, volunteerism is another way to spend and have fun during the summer, do something constructive, something that betters other people. And this is kind of the kickoff for them for fun summer stuff. Hence, segue, move that, officially recognized theme of the show tonight.
Okay.
Fun stuff you can do with your family.
Okay. So before we do our segue, we have a couple questions.
We just did the segue.
So many kayaks. Why are none of them purple?
Because I don't have a purple one.
Okay.
What else do you want to hear?
That was the awkward
I'm not
answer.
painting one of the kayaks purple.
Okay. All right.
They actually have names. You want to hear the names of them?
Do you guys want to hear the names of the kayaks?
Yes, I name my boats.
Curtis has said hello. He's watching our show.
Oh, yeah. Curtis was with me last Saturday out kayaking. We did this last weekend. I forgot to say that. Folks, remember Curtis Youngberg, one of our favorite people. He's been on the show a couple times. He and I were out kayaking. Can you show that picture?
Let me try. I can.
Curtis, I have not seen Curtis in like over 10 years face to face, though we've seen him on the show. And I said, hey, I'm going to be out next weekend because I was working with a group kayaking here at Lake Paris last Saturday. So, I get to spend 2 weekends kayaking. And Curtis doesn't live very far from here. Decided, yeah, I'm going to come out, and got to see him face to face. And it was a great visit. And Curtis, that dude can kayak. He got right in. It'd been a while, and he just shot off like it never missed a beat. It was a fun visit.
Do you have a picture that you guys took together?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, that one. Okay, it's on Messenger.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember things you send me.
No, I know, but I was trying to see if if you posted it on your page as well, because then I have to extract it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but all you got to do is just dig up the picture and do a share screen.
Okay, I'm working on it.
I can turn my phone, but it would be weird.
I'm working on it. I'm working
here. New York.
Yes. So there's Curtis and James, and they're ignoring the person in the background that looks like they're drowning.
Yeah, we were that absorbed that day. What was really cool is a buddy of mine brought his catamaran, so we were sailing around on his catamaran too. And we watched his two boys capsize the catamaran and then flip that sucker back up about several hundred feet from shore. That was pretty neat to watch that. It happened. We were sitting 50 feet from them in kayaks.
Wow.
So yeah, that's Curtis and I. It was awesome visit.
Cool.
Okay. Any other comments we need to catch up on?
Let me see. Curtis says.
Let me look up comments.
Yeah, that was a great day. Didn't tip once. And then Maya
no,
says,
you did
why
well.
not? Why not? Why isn't there a purple one?
Because I don't have one. I don't honestly. I've never come across a purple kayak before.
And Maya says, Curtis need to come back on our show.
In time when he's ready.
Yeah. So
Otherwise,
anyway,
Curtis is a very, very busy dude.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, let's see. I have a image file.
Waiting. No pressure. Oh,
no.
We forgot about being interviewees. There we go. Fun summer activities.
Okay, hold on.
So we were not the interviewers just a few days ago. We were the interviewees. We got interviewed in a podcast.
Yeah, we were asked by Troy. If you guys remember Troy Utilities, I think. Do you remember to say his last name?
Yeah, you got it fairly right.
Really nice guy, amazing bead worker. I actually saw him at ASU. He and his friends do a podcast that they just started, and they wanted to ask us because we have a little bit of experience of having a show. We've been doing our show for 5 years now. They were asking us questions about, how kind of we do our format and different things. So we were giving them kind of like a rundown of how we do our show, and kind of talked about the background of how our show came about and about how we every week we kind of develop our plan of how we're going to talk about different things and how we're going to do this different. So it was a really cool show. And they got to ask a lot of questions, and we told them a lot of just stuff that we've been going through and doing. So it was really fun. It was really nice to talk to them. And I got a little nervous because I'm just like, okay, they're recording this. I don't want to say anything wrong. I don't want to say things, I want to make sure that I'm saying everything as, clear as possible. And it was a really nice chat. And it was like, I thought it was going to be an hour. It ended up being like 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, it just went on. We were just having fun because they asked great questions. They had told some stories at one point. We started asking them questions, like we're the interviewers, and a bit of back and forth. And it was a really fun experience. I've been interviewed in other podcasts, typically with paddling or biking or something like that. Some stuff about river advocacy, and you get some good ones. And usually they're like really serious and stuff like that. You don't get a chance to tell stories and to pull little jokes and stuff like that. And they let us, and that was fun. I think we really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it. And, if you want to look for them, it's called the Young Warriors Podcast. You can find them on Spotify, and they have a YouTube channel. And we're hoping to get them. And Troy, if you're watching this, we're about to send you an invitation. So, hey, let's do the invitation gesture. Troy, we want you guys to come on our show too. Because we know you watch the show.
Yeah. So
you guys can be the guests.
Yeah. It was fun. So yeah. So we just had a good time, and it was funny because during the show, totally just like normal, Dan comes home during the middle of the recording.
So funny.
And the dogs are flipping out, and I have to mute myself. And then they come into, because I'm in the dining room, so the kitchen's right over there. And all of a sudden, I hear clanging of doors, opening and closing of the microwave, slamming, dishes clanking, and I'm just like, guys,
there was not some good timing going on that one.
And then my mom came over. She started talking to me, and I was like, Mom, I'm recording. They can hear everything you're asking me. So it was
at least
fun.
Troy got to say hi to Chris, and because and say, hey, I've known you and you're Dawn, who established Dancing Bears, because I used to help him with stuff years ago, and that was a cool revisit.
I'm sorry.
You're so professional.
I know it's terrible, but I actually have been reducing how much caffeine I drink, so I've
already got a kombucha under my belt, and I'm doing trail mix to keep me awake. I've been up a while packing boats. Okay.
This is going to be, you're going to laugh because this is going to be the way that I'm going to stay awake. I have these Sour Patch Kids, and let me tell you, they will keep me awake because they're so sour. The lemon ones are the bomb ones. They will bomb my mouth, and I'll be like, okay.
Car driving by.
I was going to say, did you see something scary because you made this face? Anyway.
No, just seeing the car drive by going, okay, who's that? Was it a Ranger?
Yeah.
Of course, I have the windows up on my truck, so the wind, it's quiet and everything like that. And the people here are being surprisingly very polite. Over there toward the main area where all the RVs are at, you can tell there's a party going on, even though the quiet hours start at 10. But everything's being really cool over here. Sometimes you kind of roll the dice when you stay at public campgrounds like this. Anyway.
Yeah, Curtis says that any lemon candy is the best hard candy. Okay, so let me show you.
I want to see it'll do lemon.
Okay, this is the lemon one. This one is really terrible. So when I'm driving late at night and I have to stay awake, I'll take a bite of this, and all of my taste buds literally spasm in my mouth because it's so sour. Okay, you ready, James?
Yep. Oh, jeez. When you said that'll wake you up.
Eyes are starting to water.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. All right. So we're going to segue.
I'm reaching in my ice chest looking for a kombucha. I think I found the kombucha. Here's the kombucha. Yay. Okay.
Okay.
Fun some activities.
The title.
Folks, this week we are doing fun summer activities, family activities, adult youth summer camps, and other stuff that's not mentioned in that short title because we ran out of room.
Oh my
While
God.
I'm doing this while Sabea tries to get her lips to be able to part from going from the lemon gummy.
Ugh.
Yeah, kombucha.
I definitely put those to the side because they're so terrible.
But are you awake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay. Fun stuff.
James and I were brainstorming this idea because we're like, what are we going to talk about for this show? Because there's so many things to talk about. And when James and I are working on our shows, we tend to just chat about life and whatever. We're just talking about what's going on with our lives and because we just had so much going on in our show, like in our personal lives. And so we'll talk about this and that and this and that. And like, I was like, oh yeah, I saw this thing and it was kind of interesting, but then was kind of like, So the conversation started that I said to James, like, hey, James, I saw this advertisement. It was kind of, I'm not really sure how I read this advertisement. It was a summer camp for adults. And I was like, this is interesting. Okay, so basically it's summer camp with basically no rules. No camp counselors.
Needless to say, there's going to be some clubbing and drinking going on at the adult summer camp. I'm sure there's summer camps where they just happen to do some fun activities and they get smashed, which we're not advocates. Savita are not fans or advocates of, obviously.
So we're not necessarily picking to talk about this because it's basically a summer hookup fest. That's not the reason why, but we were kind of talking about that idea because I was like, well, this kind of reminds me of Fire Island. I don't know if you guys remember watching that whole.
Give a quick recap of Fire Island, a real short recap.
So there was this promoter that created this event. And it was supposed to be one weekend, and it was supposed to be in the Bahamas on a private island. It was supposed to be this huge party, huge thing where people are going to, like, all your food and your lodging is taken care of. And all these influencers, these famous influencers are going to be there. And there's going to be all these musicians and bands, and all these people are going to be there. So it's going to be this huge festival of just like influencers, everything, right? And people were able to pay for like staying on a yacht, or they're staying in their private cabin, or they're going to have room service. They're going to have spa services. I mean, there's all the stuff people paid for, helicopter rides in and out, and private jets and all kinds of things. And people paid a lot of money into it. And basically the whole thing became a big old like crazy mess, hot mess, where basically everything that was promised wasn't happening. And so people were starting to flip out because they're like, I paid for a private villa and I have a FEMA tent to stay in, and I'm supposed to have like 5-star breakfast, and I have a bologna sandwich. And so like they were talking about, it was just like a big old crazy thing. Anyway, so that's Fire Island. There's a whole bunch of videos and documentaries about it on Netflix and whatever. So if you want to see that, it's really a crazy story. I recommend it. It's pretty amazing.
It sounds like the Coachella Music Festival put on by Wish.
Yeah, exactly. So these people think they're going to get this amazing thing, and it was really not that.
Yeah.
So
the adult summer camps, obviously there's going to be ones that do center activities and social stuff. It's not an excuse to get trashed.
Yeah. So
we're not fans of, so they actually have legit.
Yeah. So they have activities like yoga, morning yoga, hikes, stargazing, painting, doing target practice, like with archery, all kinds of stuff. Like I was like, this is totally cool, right? And so then I was talking to James. I was like, well, you remember the movie Dirty Dancing? And
nobody puts baby in a corner.
So then I
love Patrick Swayze.
Maya's like, yeah, crazy scam. Yeah, crazy scam.
So
the movie Dirty Dancing is actually based on real life. I mean, I guess if you watch the documentary, it's another documentary to watch about the movie Dirty Dancing and about the person who wrote the story. She was in a Jewish family, and every summer they would go for like 3 weeks. They would go out to upstate New York, and they would go to these resorts for like 3 weeks with their family. And there was a whole bunch of other families that would go. So there would be maybe like 500, 600 people that would go and stay there for the summer. And it was this huge, huge resort hotel thing. It was a big thing in the East. Like a lot of families would do this in the East in the summer. They would go to upstate New York and they would go to these resorts and they would have talent shows and they would have boating and all this kind of stuff that sounds like this adult camps. And I told James, I'm like, this reminds me a lot of Dirty Dancing, about that whole era of going to these like summer camps. And I was like, that's what initially I was like, this is cool because
except that those would actually last the summer when most of these are lasting, the camps for these days, you look at that, are lasting anywhere from 3 days to 7 or 10.
Yeah.
Most of them goes into the $3 to $5 day range instead of like a whole summer. That's not, like you said, they used to be standard, and now it's kids maybe 5 days or something.
Yeah.
A week, and adult camps 3 to 5 days typically, just because vacation time.
I know.
So doing that. Do you have that list? The webpage we were looking that up? Do you have?
Yeah,
go through that?
I was going to do that, but I just kind of wanted to talk about how how we came to this idea, and it was not necessarily, like I said, about the negative part about this, but it was thinking about like, wow, there are, and it's not like about kids necessarily, because there's a lot of people that want to go and do summer things, and maybe they didn't get a chance to do some of the stuff like horseback riding or archery or building a campfire.
It's something to look up a special interest or try an opportunity to try something new, get out of try to get out a little bit of the comfort zone a little bit. So we really dig on this one. Matter of fact, not completely off topic, but is off topic. When you were talking about Dirty Dancing and the Patrick Swayze, for some reason, I don't know why, but that was reminding me of the greatest heroic tale ever told.
And that was
Footloose.
And that's a summer story?
Dancing. Not really, but it's dancing. Dancing.
Yeah. Dancing
Dirty
in
dancing.
areas where they don't allow dancing.
But they were eventually able to. And it's the original one with the greatest historic dancer hero of all time, Kevin Bacon. And when I say that, I'm thinking of the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh, I know, right? That was funny. If you guys haven't seen that, it's pretty funny. Should we tell them what happens with Kevin
in
Bacon?
Christmas special?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to ruin people's Christmas.
Okay. So
and mind you, we're almost halfway to Christmas.
I think you kind of gave a hint to it. So definitely, if you want something that has the reference to Footloose and 80s and kind of fun, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy, you definitely want to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas episode.
You can catch it on Disney Plus. Streaming on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney
All right, Disney,
Plus.
give us our endorsement.
All right. Okay. So now I'm going to show.
Okay, summer camps.
So we found a page, and we wanted to kind of talk about this because this is kind of cool. So I just typed in summer fun for adults, and this is what came up. Summer activities for adults. So there's a lot of things here. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun stuff, right?
Are you actually looking at the page, showing the page right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so, what we're seeing right now is the slide that introduces the show.
Oh, really? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm seeing some fun. Remember, we always have problems with this since the update a few months ago with StreamYard. Okay. You actually tell it not to and kick it out of the yard and then bring up the page.
There we go. Thank you for telling me, because I was looking at the other page. Oh, see, look at Maya says, I love Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Edition. Wasn't it funny? Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
It was fun.
I liked it.
You see a new set of Drax, that's for sure. And Groot.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, Savannah.
Yes.
I am Groot. We should do a whole show where one of us keeps on talking and the other pretends like they understand what they're saying by saying, I am Groot.
Yeah.
That'll
Okay.
go over well. The audience will
It
love
won't
that.
get
That won't get
it
old
won't
quick at all.
it won't
All
get
right,
old at all, and everyone will fully understand you saying, "I am Groot."
totally. All right, so I just had to kind of blow up the screen a little bit to see there because of some of the stuff. So
I can list it out. So, some of the things, okay, the first one they're talking about is picnics. When's the last time you went on a picnic with your friends? Just grab a couple friends, say, "Hey, let's go on a picnic. Grab together, let's go do something like that." That is actually pretty cool. You could go to any of the state parks, like in Escondido, there's Kit Carson Park, the beaches, they have those
even
tables.
some of the county parks, really,
Yeah,
city.
the county parks. It's just even like like a small park. It doesn't need to be like the beach, but beach may be hard to get a table during the day because people are using those for being there. But yeah, you could make a little picnic, and that would be fun. It's like, when's the last time you brought like a picnic?
And ban anybody from saying the word picnic. Yogi.
Yeah. So, I mean, or you could just get a blanket. They have those really cool blankets they sell at Costco that are the waterproof ones. And you could sit on the ground and do a picnic on the ground.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
kind of look through these and see which ones are most interesting to kind of bring up that makes us go, huh, out of this list of.
But like picnic, I thought that was actually kind of cool. Camping, you guys need to go. Like, if you guys haven't gone camping in a long time, it's so much fun to go camping. I haven't gone in a few years because we used to do our bead retreat camping. And there's something nice about sleeping in nature and then waking up in the fresh air without all of the noise around you of like life. I really love camping. I haven't gone in a long time.
I love how you say that because I'm looking my tent set up about 30 feet from my truck.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Okay. So farmers markets are all the time. Outdoor concerts.
Oh.
Actually, there's a lot of, if I don't know if you guys know about that, but there's venues all around where they actually have summer concerts. We have our Del Mar
Free to the
Fair.
public.
Yeah, well, Del Mar Fair is coming up in a couple weeks, and that one they have a concert like every night, but there are free concerts. Depending on your area, I'm sure there's like cultural free concerts to go to. So those are fun. And then here in San Diego, like I said, we have a lot of stuff along the bay and the ocean. And I know that there's a venue. It's not free. It's called Rady Shell, and they have outdoor concerts all the time. And you probably could sit outside the space and listen to the music because you can hear it. It doesn't end on the outside of the perimeter of the space, just like James is listening to Coachella.
And
Right.
from my backyard. There really is. I mean, there's a venue, I forget, Kelly Jo Miller told me about it, that there's a venue where like even Willie Nelson was playing over in San Diego Bay, and people would go out in kayaks and listen and watch the concert from this one point.
Yeah.
And get it for free. And they're kind of piggybacking, but that's the fun summer stuff. Even like when you talk about hiking, there's actually nature walks that parks will organize. I don't know if you mentioned that.
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Yeah,
but like when we went camping, they had a free astronomy night where they would talk about the different constellations, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, some groups will organize free public nights. Actually, you got a great one right there. Is that Curtis and I were talking about that last weekend? And Curtis, remind me of the name of the astronomy club that you were a member of that we were talking about last weekend. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but they will organize what's called star parties. You ever heard of the star party?
That's what
they bring out their telescopes and people can look at it and set it up and look at different celestial objects, and that's cool stuff, really. And you can go out and there'll be a night, summer nights, to do that and do check out a star party open to the public, free to the public, and that's a neat activity to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned that organized nature walks. The group come in, you can learn something about like this cool plant or that cool aminal.
Maya was saying there's a lot of free stuff at Balboa Park.
Oh, absolutely, there is.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's look at this
So, yeah.
list for fun stuff.
So make sure to look around locally what is available in your area, because museums and different things they have in the libraries, they have different fun activities. They're talking about doing a group bonfire. That's fun. Go to the beach. Just go to the beach. Nature walks, bike touring. That's on James's path.
Never heard of it. Oh, fight. Should I say I'm back on the bike?
Oh yeah, you're back on the bike.
We'll talk about at the end of the show. If we got time,
Okay.
I'll mention that part. I like that one movie marathon. We could do a movie marathon of Police Academy.
Oh my goodness. Ugh.
It'll be funny the first hour, 90 minutes, and then after that,
Yeah. So
that's
there's a
the
lot of
first 5
stuff
minutes of the second movie.
like here. Hiking, rock climbing. I think
Enjoy
that
hammock.
you specifically like to enjoy a hammock.
I've never actually been. I haven't been on a hammock in years.
But while you're out rock climbing, hiking, bike touring, or fishing, or on a nature walk, you could meditate outdoors.
I do a fair amount of that.
This is
I'm
interesting.
blonde. I'll just sit there and look at the bright object and go in zone, going, yeah. It's natural for a blonde to be able to meditate. We just check out quick.
This one says go camping alone. Okay.
Never done that.
Yes. Movie marathon. Let's
Ever.
see. I'm looking around here. Hot air balloon ride. Have you ever gone on a hot air balloon, James?
I have. Those are fun.
Don't you worry
I haven't
about
jumped out of one yet.
and you just fall to your death?
Well, I don't live a life with what ifs.
Mm.
You don't worry about that stuff because you think logic. Well, anyway, that's done. I'm looking at some of these others. What is that? Meditate outdoors. That's all cool.
Mm-hmm.
Home spa days. The idea is to kind of get you out of your house a little bit. Fishing. I'm never big into fishing.
Neither am I.
I know what I just said. I'm probably going to get fried for by some people. The show I know. Barbecue, homemade ice cream.
But
And
that's
you know,
like
we did a show on farmers markets.
So
Okay.
I'm going to scroll down here because there's I was going to look for the summer camps.
You might have to specifically type that for adult summer camps. That's what I had to do when we were exploring the subject last. We had our Monday meeting.
Camp No Counselors. This is one of the ones. So, see, they have it in New York, California, Texas. So basically, I'm going to X this here.
I actually didn't look. We can look at that one as an example, but there was one that had like a different activities I was bringing up to like the symphonic camp that we were hoping to cover.
Look at California camp, $975. Let's see some information about this.
60% off.
No, 60%.
60% of tickets sold. I see it now. I'm looking at a little phone screen.
Okay, endless summer. It's from the 14th to the 17th. That's 3 days. Camp No Counselors. Let's see here. It says an escape of an all-inclusive weekend experience that combines your favorite aspects of childhood fun along with the best of what's being grown up has to offer. It's time to put away your phone, gather your friends, free yourself from stresses of adult life, and escape to camp. Our all-inclusive Camp No Counselors package includes accommodations, alcohol, epic nightly theme parties, delicious meals, and of course, all your favorite camp activities.
The hiking, the boating, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for more ones that didn't insinuate.
Yeah, the
drinking.
The alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Did you even see what I?
Let's try another link on that Google page because you typed the same thing I did.
This is what I was looking at, and I read to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look here because I forget that that is something that happens. Let's see. But actually, if you watch this video, it shows like what people are doing. They go on the slides, they go camp, they go on leapfrog.
Yeah, the one that the guy was going down was actually, it's called a cope course. Think of it as an obstacle course type thing, but you have to cope with like, walking across a log, but as maybe a zip line walking between a log strung between 2 trees. Obviously, you're going to have a safety harness on.
Mm-hmm.
Running through tires, doing a balancing act, rocking a little tightrope type thing. The climbing wall can be considered part of a cope course.
Mm-hmm. Like
and of course, water slides.
Kickball.
Looks like she just came off a zip line.
Yeah, and like pool, dancing competitions. Sounds like fun.
And you have to do it all in fashion.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that Google page, because there's that one I saw that had just a great list of adult camps.
This one, best summer camps.
Yes, try it. 17 best adult summer camps. That looks like the page I was looking at. Because it actually came up with some really cool themed camps for adults that just are interesting.
This looks like dodgeball.
Dodgeball camp. Learn to play dodgeball. But there was ones like, let's see if we get to them on the scroll here. But surf camp. This is the page. This is what we were looking at and talking about. So adult surf camp. Endless summer surf camp at San Onofre. Watch out for the nuclear reactor nearby.
That guy has the white out on his face. I'm sorry. He has the white stuff on his face to prevent sunburn.
That's kind of important.
I guess a lot of them do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a really light complexion, like really from like Minnesota white, you really have to have that stuff because it can really affect you. But anyway, for beginners, adult summer camp. Own your skill set. Endless summers have you covered. Program equips surfers of all experience levels with the requisite tools, instruction, and guidance. So you can do this and come back and say, dude, I'm a surfer now. I can surf. I'll catch the waves.
You know what, though?
So,
I'm so terrified of waves. I actually really wiped out really bad when I was in junior high, so badly in Oceanside Beach. I was so bad. I used to love boogie boarding. That was my thing. In the summer, I would go like every weekend. I would go and I'd be out in the water all day. And I went to Solana Beach and Oceanside, and both those beaches, I had a really bad wipeout where I hit my face. And when I hit my face on the sand and my neck cracked and I couldn't get out of the curl of the wave. And after that, I couldn't even handle being near any kind of wave. I would have a panic attack. And then after that, that's where my fear of heights came. I don't know. That makes no sense.
Gotcha. Quick thing was I did that. Curtis texted me, says for some reason his comment keeps on getting deleted, but we were talking about star parties. The club he's specifically involved with is the Riverside Astronomical Society. And they actually have a website. I'm not able to do it, but Survey, if you can kind of sound this out, it's Rivastro, RIVASTRO.org. And if you live in general Southern California around Riverside, the Inland Empire, you can check out their calendar for upcoming events. It's going to be RIVAS.
Oh, hold on. RIVES.
RIVAST. Riv Astro. Riverside Astro, Riv Astro, RIVastro.org. So yeah, Curtis, that means I got your message. Real curious why it keeps on getting deleted. Your stuff, but anyway. So put that in the comments for all of us to be able to share that from Curtis.
Okay.
We should totally look at some other camps here because we're already at. How's this happen? We're only got 11 minutes left in the show. Holy crap! Crazy.
I get worried. I always get worried that we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about.
Oh no, we're good. We can fill it.
There it is. That is the link for Riverside Astronomy.
Yeah, Riverside Astronomical Society, or my apologies. Okay, so we got surf camp. Let's go through there. Let's just kind of hit the really interesting ones, if you're cool with that.
Surf camp, camp social. That's kind of sounds like the same thing.
Everybody's doing yoga over there, praising the Lord there.
They're doing yoga.
Yeah,
Camp No Counselors. We just looked at
we
that.
covered that one.
Camp Raw, Shamish
They're
Island.
working on pottery.
This is annual retreat. Let's see. Open adults. It says there's a list of activities: meditation, creative writing, kayaking, cooking classes, dance parties, wellness workshops. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but there were some that were real specific.
Like slides and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. One of the ones that are really
Adult
specific,
space
like
camp.
adult space camp.
Oh, that would be fun.
How cool is that? I would do it in a heartbeat
It's for aspiring.
if I got to go to real space.
Let's see here. But you have gone to real space, James.
I know, between my ears.
Let's see. Okay.
If I close my eyes, I'm in space.
You could channel your inner Sally ride and train on astronaut simulators, including gravity chair, multi-axle doohickey. Help build and launch a model rocket.
I love in the description, it says the multi-axial doohickey. It seriously says that right there.
Mm-hmm. Martha Vineyard Summer Camp.
Yeah, it's more about location there.
Moab, Utah. Camp,
Oh, God, the glamping places. Oh, there's so many of them up there. I'm going to be up there in a couple of weeks. Yoga in the woods. There's one that we have one coming up. I know that's specific. You'll kind of go, oh.
Band
a lot
camp.
of these places, symphonic camp, band camp.
Interlocking. What?
What I like is like stuff where you like say the surfing. Even if you want to learn how to play an instrument, that these camps present a safe space to save you some embarrassment and you know what you would hope would be good-natured ribbing from your friends or associates or whatnot. But you can actually go in and make a serious delve on it and know that you're in a place that they know you're a beginner. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. And that's what I dig about some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's for musicians.
Wanda Wega. Camp Wanda Wega. See. Oh, for chefs, artists, brewers, architects. Interesting.
Lakeside private unplugged retreats.
Included. That's weird.
Of course.
Okay.
$650 per night. Bookable on Airbnb. Oh, accommodations. Wow.
That's weird.
The wooden boat.
That's cool.
They teach you how to make a wooden boat or work on a wooden boat at this camp. Talk about specific. Nerd me's going, cool.
Projects. Wooden boat, however, is a sleepover retreat in Maine where you get to build a boat of your dreams, a sea skiff, a dinghy, or maybe even a wooden kayak. Using traditional plans and building methods at night, retire to a shared student house on a school's gorgeous 60-acre saltwater campus, and wake up to the Rocky Harbor School views. Interesting. That's fun.
That's cool. You get to make something with your own hands.
Hutton Brickyards.
That's another nostalgia side camp. Staying in a New England home.
House, doesn't it?
It really does. I think that's Disney's Haunted Mansion before it got haunted.
Maybe. So there's just a bunch of things in here. Hidden Pond. I mean, some of this stuff is, I don't know if it's necessarily a camp per se. Oh, it's going into other stuff now.
Yeah, music festivals and whatnot. So we got a good look at that. I think that gave us a good rounding of adult camps. And, if you can, kids summer camp.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that there's always all kinds of things you can do, but it just, and actually, you know what? It's funny. It didn't list any of those locations for, like Enduro dancing back in the 60s and 70s. It didn't list anything like that, did it?
Not really, where you spend the whole summer. I know that there's some programs that still do that. I've run across it. I used to work for several years. I actually worked summer camps.
Mm-hmm.
And there's somebody over here with a Cybertruck. Interesting. Anyway, so so they're still out there, but these were weekly camps. But I know that talking to people that there are still places where they can send their kids for 5 weeks, 6 weeks of camp, quote unquote camp. So they're still there, just not, like we were saying earlier, just not near as prevalent.
Yeah,
And these kids summer camps, they can do the symphonic band camp and stuff like that, space camp, not just for adults. The kids camp's a great place to send your kids without the adult camp because it's not a deleterious, or what's the word? Insinuates drunk. Deleterious. I'm trying to use a big word I heard Data say in Star Trek.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll just put it in plain English. It ain't a drunk camp you're sending your kids to. That's a bit blunt. All right.
But I know there are resort style for throwback summer.
Yeah. 4 minutes. Ooh, that's quick. Crazy.
That's in Utah, New York. But I read about the location that they filmed Dirty Dancing in, and they were talking about how they were going to renovate it and they were going to make it into a camp thing again. I read that.
Considering there's a lot of nostalgia with Dirty Dancing, that would be wise. Keep the camp going. Look at the people coming around. Okay. With just a few minutes left, we can kind of start winding down, I think.
Yeah. Oh, here. Mountain Lake Lodge. Okay, so I'm going to share this. Let me get this.
Gotcha.
Here. This looks like
I'm kind of uncomfortable sitting at this angle with the phone.
What?
Kind of, if I started me moving around, it's just getting a little uncomfortable sitting at this angle looking at the phone.
Historic Mount. See, that's the place from Dirty Dancing. That's actually the same place.
Hey,
see that?
You want to hear the Ranger? You want to hear the Ranger?
What? Oh, you want to do? Is the Ranger there? You see the Ranger?
Yeah, the Ranger's going over and asking people to turn off their music and quiet down because quiet hour was started almost an hour ago. I just heard it and I wanted to give a quick listen going, is there do we need to evacuate or something? Nope. He's just telling people quit partying.
Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you got to stay here, but turn it off, turn it down.
This is actually really cool. Actually, I would like to go to this. They have they have promotions where you can do the whole thing. Look at, you remember that? Look at, that's totally Dirty Dancing. You remember that?
It's ringing the bell. It's coming back. I haven't seen Dirty Dancing in a while.
Lodge. That's the rustic cabin that closes. That's the one that they stayed in. This is so cool.
All that's missing is Patrick Swayze. I almost got to remove. I had to do a moment of silence when I said that.
I know.
Black dog died.
He was a really cool guy. Cool guy.
Yes.
See, Dirty Dancing Days. Let's see what this means. That might be kind of fun. Oh my gosh, Summer Festival. Live performance by Flashback, the party band, Cassette Rewind, Dirty Dancing Days of Summer Festival. Let's see. It's not that expensive, $81.88. Getting ready to experience the ultimate summer festival at Mountain Lake Lodge during the Dirty Dancing Days Summer Festival. Prepare to be captivated by the electrifying atmosphere brimming with live performances from Cassette Rewind, Flashback, and Party Band. Immerse yourself in the magic of Dirty Dancing by taking dance lessons in our charming barn. Picture yourself learning to dance to the very spot where Baby and Johnny danced their hearts out. Indulge in the enchanting world of Dirty Dancing with movie screening that will transport you back to the iconic moments of the film. As you soak up the cinematic nostalgia, don't forget to treat yourself to exclusive drink specials and grab yourself unique Dirty Dancing merchandise.
Somebody is capitalizing on the movie.
Just a little bit.
And I'm trying to think with that. And it's commercializing the sacred movie, the special movie.
Oh, actually, it's
which
not
is totally like kettle talk right there, because that's what it's about.
But this is really cool.
It's almost the color of your hair. It's a magenta, though.
Yeah, no, my hair is purple, not magenta. Get it straight, James. Come on.
I'm a guy. We don't do colors. We just say, is this chartreuse or this or that? I went, orange? We don't know 5 different words for the same color. Anyway.
But yeah, so this is cool. But
Virginia
yeah, so
Getaway special offers.
So this is basically, like, if you think about it, this is kind of like the same idea of, going on these,
Yep.
luxury
It's
and
11 o'clock
weekend. Oh, it's the time? Oh, shoot. I was just like,
with
hey.
gangbang.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we need to wind down here because I've got to get up at 5 in the morning and I'm going to sleep. So kind of wind down. I did mention the bike very quick. I'm going to be real quick. Is that folks? The shoulder's still healing, but I've gotten to the point I can get back on the bike, and I did my first significant ride last Monday. I did 10 miles Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I only did 6 miles this morning because I had to get all these kayaks on my trailer loaded, but. Back on the bike riding, that's actually a great thing. I'm not getting in like traffic, but I think I did say that I did have a memory flashback thing where I said I did get hit by the car and making a legal left turn. But back on the bike, that is a great, very significant, very symbolic way of getting better, getting over the injury. So it's still a little ways to go, but wanted to put that out there. And there's bike camps too. See, tied it in.
Yeah.
Clever.
And, Maya said, hey, there's also San Diego Comic-Con. Yes. And we are trying to, I don't know if it's going to ever happen. We are trying to get
we may be too big for Comic-Con.
Press passes to interview people at Comic-Con, during Comic-Con. But I don't think it's going to happen this year because they have not replied. We've sent out several emails to them. So hopefully they get back to us. So eventually we can actually do what we want to do on our show and do some on-site show interviews.
If not, we can talk to our correspondent, our resident expert on Comic-Con, who's actually at the Phoenix Comic-Con this weekend. Wendy Hodge. I am so looking forward to it. I don't know who she's cosplaying as this year. Probably not Squirrel Girl for the 3rd time. But I'm looking forward to the stories. As always, she has always the neatest stories from Phoenix Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And she's doing it right now. Now. Not now then. Now. And tomorrow it'll be tomorrow now.
You know what? I thought you might be interested. This is a painting I did.
Recent?
No, this was a painting I did a long
time ago. Not now? Okay,
no.
Then now.
It's a painting
of then now.
It's an outer space painting.
That looks like the Pillars of Creation.
It is.
No kidding. Nice.
I don't know if I told you about it, but my instructor at Arizona State University, I forgot his name. If I look on some of my papers, I'm sure I can find it. But he was one of the astronomy professors that was involved in the Hubble project to take those photos.
That's pretty amazing. Very cool. And it's interesting the dynamic when you try to look at the Pillars of Creation. If you don't know what that is, folks, that's actually what Savea showed right there is actually a nebula that's forming stars in there, and that is a great representation of the Pillars of Creation.
Little, like, dots are like stars forming.
Yep. Stars forming. It's giving birth to stars and new universes like ours, our new like our solar system, and that's hence it's called the Pillars of Creation. These giant nebula clouds are just, look like columns from our angle. Yeah. If you want another view of it, take a look at what James Webb Space Telescope's done.
Yeah. So
that is cool, and this is really well done.
Yes. Oh, Curtis said central region of the Eagle Nebula.
But you said it was the Pillars of Creation. Is that part of the Eagle Nebula?
I don't know. I thought it was.
Well, Curtis probably know. Curtis would know.
Yeah.
That dude can just fact check us just by memory, and that's what I love about it. Okay. Time?
Let me look here really quick. Yeah, it's Pillars of Creation.
That's what it'll look like. Unless
Yeah,
that's part of the Eagle Nebula.
Here, let me show you really quick. I just looked it up on Google. Let's see here.
I want to go to the Mutara Nebula. That's from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
But this one, what I thought I liked it because it kind of looks like a horse's head. I think isn't it called horse head? I thought it was horse head.
There is a nebula called Horsehead Nebula. I don't think that's it.
But anyway, it looks like a horse's head looking away from the camera. Isn't that cool?
Gotcha.
All these little dots are stars being formed. So in these little things like these here, right here, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
These are stars being formed in these clouds.
And just imagine the size of that thing, how many light years across that is.
Like each one of these is a star. Like imagine our sun. That's actually a sun, right? So kind of a cool thing.
Oh, very. Open trunks. Okay. I'm yawning.
Yeah, 95. That's when I was at ASU. So anyway.
Hoorah.
All right, guys, I'm going to take this off and we are going to, it's here really quick.
Yeah.
Maya says, do you know that there's a star named Maya in the Taurus something? I forgot the exact thing, but it's pretty cool. That's cool.
Oh, a star called Maya in the Taurus cluster? That sounds like bull. Taurus? Bull?
Okay. All right,
I'm
guys.
a nerd. Okay.
It's been a real blast. We love talking to you guys. Oh, and next week.
Next week.
To share with you, we are going to be live and we're going to be in person instead of doing this.
We will be. There will not be two rectangles. There'll be one with either one of us in it, or at the same time, folks.
Yes.
Out of 5 years, we have never been live together on the show. We've done pre-records where we're at the same place, but not live. And we will be live next weekend, next Friday. That'll be new. That's show history.
We're going to film at Brooklyn Boys. So, which is really close to the
10 minutes from the powwow.
San Luis Rey mission. So
You better be, because I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be set at the booth, and I'm going over there when I want to go.
And James is like,
kind of elbow me during the show if I'm going.
James is like, what? So anyway, fun stuff. You guys are going to really love it. So.
Yep. Okay. I'm getting tired. I got a long day tomorrow.
All right, guys, ready to dance? Ready to dance?
Ready to dance. Yes.
Oops. How did that happen? Hold on.
There we go. Dance, audience. Dance to us. Dance like a Peter in Internet. Headbang with that purple hairstyle. Nice. Actually, really good.
Oh, ain't he cute?
Very much. No.
Yep.
I'm gonna back it up a little so he's not in here. Here we go. I'm gonna back it up a little. Here, play. Hold on.
You're so judgmental.
No, I'm not. Watch. You're gonna do like so much better.
Look at that. You're okay.
Cute.
Oh no! Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it here.
You can't escape Jar Jar Pickles.
Here we go.
Even then, you could escape Jar Jar Pickles.
Yay! It's the end of the show. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Bye.
Good night, Grogu.